He was trying to get away, so I got in my car and I ran him over. Just kept running him over.
Okay. Sound like self-defense to me. She said the man spit on her.
I heard her.
Look, if it's hitting on you and spitting on you, Danny, I know I don't know you like that, but all you got to do is say the word and it's done.
Word. No.
All right, Sistas fans. Now, please, Fatima fanatics, stay right there for a second. Hear me out. I know the title definitely seems a bit, I guess you could say, I'm not even going to, clickbait is not the right term. Basically, and triggering isn't the right term either. It may be divisive, possibly, but regardless, I honestly think, and this isn't just based on the last episode with how Fatima was siding with Danny on how to handle the Jonah situation. That's not it at all. This has been a recurring trait for Fatima since we've met her. You know, because we rarely see Andy doing work at work. Most of her time at work is spent, you know, gossiping with Fatima, or, you know, maybe Gary or Robin or whoever else would come in there and they would talk. But really, when you look at Fatima, she's always been a person, in my opinion, who at this point in time would not make the best attorney, because of the fact that she seems to allow her personal feelings and biases to actually overshadow her professionalism. For example, remember when Zach first got the stock information, I think in season 3, from Tony, the senator's wife? And at that same time, because I remember having a theory, there was this guy who was being represented by Andy in a divorce. And he was trying to, you know, get money from the wife because, you know, if the divorce, if such and such a thing happens, I won't get any sort of alimony or anything. And then and I remember having a theory, oh, I wonder if that's the senator. And then I'm like, nah, because it was mentioned this guy barely did anything. So he was pretty much a trophy husband in a sense, where his wife was the breadwinner. And Fatima was like, nah, that's so messed up. He's like, I wish a man would try to take my money like that, and this, you know, this, that, and the third. It just seems to me that Fatima would be the kind of lawyer who would pick and choose what cases she decides to handle, because, you know what, I'm a woman and I'm not going to try to bring another woman down by representing this man who wants to take her for everything she's worked for and he didn't do anything. Which is kind of funny, because I just think about how in Zatima, she's quick to say, my house, my hot tub, when she didn't buy any of it. And I'm not calling her lazy, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, but it just seems funny to me how, you know, maybe that's just a woman thing in general, because I know that in episode 10, when she was talking with Angela on the phone, she was like, I need to ask Zach if you all can come over for dinner. What? Ain't that your house? Man, well, you know, I got to make him think that it's his house. And I'm thinking, is that really how it works? Because, hell, y'all know me. I've been trying to get a house for almost 2 years now, and I wish I would get a house. And then a woman's like, it's my house. Like, wait, what? Like, you ain't have to struggle if I'm paying for it. But whatever. That's, I guess, a personal thing. But whatever. I mean, what do they say? You know, when it comes to a man, a woman can turn a man's house into a home. So I guess that's plausible. But then again, being single, I don't have the best expertise on this opinion. Maybe you all can chime in, those who are married or have been in long-term relationships. But regardless, I just think Fatima, I don't know if she can make a full-on great attorney. I think the potential's there, but you could just tell, looking at how Andy and Fatima look at the same situations, it could definitely be a indicator of how good of an attorney she'll be. Like, she has the resources, she can get information fast, she's very efficient at her job, but I think her own personal feelings are what will cloud her judgment from a professional perspective. Because when it comes to being a lawyer or an attorney, you know, whichever term you prefer, when you are chosen or hired to represent someone, even if like the evidence against them is so damning that there's no way they're innocent, it's your job to come up with a case strong enough to convince the jury otherwise. And in this case, do we even know what kind of lawyer she's trying to be? Because we know that, Andy's a divorce attorney, so yeah, has it ever been established? My guess is, based on the lore that Crystal wrote, for Fatima being her family, crime and everything, she's studying to be a lawyer. That way, if her family members get in trouble, she can represent them in court. So I guess you could argue that she's interning to eventually become some sort of criminal attorney. I guess that's the best way to put it. So I just think it's been maybe 3 times. Of course, the recent one with Jonah. Before, when I mentioned that one guy who was trying to get money from his rich wife. And then there was one time in like the early seasons, 1 or 2, where, she would bring Andy information on the case. And she would be like, you know what, man, I mean, I can't believe you're representing this person or this and that. And then Andy would quickly correct her like, well, when it comes to our position, we can't really, dictate we can't let our feelings dictate how we handle a case. It's kind of funny because, ironically enough, one of the first big cases we saw Andy handle in Sistas, not the one that we first saw her deal with, which big divorce that she won. It was when Jasmine showed up to get a divorce from Gary, but of course she didn't want to be part of it because conflict of interest and yada yada yada. But I do feel like Fatima would have to let go of her personal feelings in order to become a great attorney, which I think she's fully capable of becoming. So what do you think? Do you think that it's quite possible Fatima has what it takes to be a good lawyer? Or do you think her personal feelings would muck things up? Now, you could argue, well, Jeremy, think of it this way. If she really fine-tunes her lawyer skills and then combines that with her connections and whatnot, she can make people disappear. She can clean up messes. Very true. She could be Veronica Harrington 2.0. But I just think that she's too rash. She'll make decisions based on emotion, and then as a result, get locked up. But then again, you all fill in the blanks. What do you think about this? Thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.